Study guide number 7, course 2, problem number 1. This is page 1. A 1-year subscription to a monthly magazine costs $15.96. At this price, what is the cost of each issue? Well, if you're getting a magazine monthly, that means you're going to get 12 issues in a year. So let's divide 12 into $15.96. Bring our decimal up. 12 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract, we get 3. Bring down our 9. 12 goes into 39 3 times. 36. Subtract, we get 3. Bring down our 6. And again, 12 goes into 36 3 times. So each issue will cost $1.33. Number 2, round 481,462 to the nearest 100,000. Well, 100,000's place is the number 4, the digit 4 here. And so the 8 is right next to it, and it will make it go up 1. So this will round to a 500,000, and then all of these will become zeros. Because 481,462 is actually between 400,000 and 500,000. It's going to round to one of those two, and it's closer to the 500,000. So if we're going to round to the nearest 1,000, we're actually looking to see if it's going to stay at 481,000, or is it, because it's between these two and 482,000. So if we find the thousands place, then, which is the 1, and then the 4 is going to make that stay the same, so it's going to actually round to the 481,000. It's closer to 481,000 than it is 482,000. Prime factorization of 200. You can do your factor tree any way you want to. I'm going to do the division method. I'm going to start with 200 and divide by 2 until I can't go any further, and 2 goes 100 times. 2 goes again 50. And 2 goes again 25. Well, now there's no more 2's. 3 will go. 5 will go 5 times. And when your last number is a prime number, then we're through with it. So the prime factorization of 200 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Number 4, 3 and 5/6 minus 1/3. Well, I like to write these up and down, so I'm going to go 3 and 5/6 minus 1/3. And I need common denominators, and the common denominator is going to be 6. So I'm going to just ignore that 1 right there. And so 6 is going to stay the same here, so I'm going to multiply by 1 over 1 and get 5/6. And to get from 3 to 6, I need to multiply the top and bottom by 2, so I'll get 2/6. And I am subtracting, so 3 minus 0 is 3. And 5/6 minus 2/6 is 3/6. And that will reduce to 3 1/2. Number 5, 2 2/3 divided by 1 3/4. When I do division, it is KFC, but I've got to make sure that I have fractions first. So I've got 2 times 3 plus 2 is 8/3. I'm going to keep it division for the moment. And 1 times 4 plus 3 is 7/4. So now we keep the first one, we flip the second one, take the reciprocal of it, and it's times. Now let's see if there's any canceling I can do. I don't see any canceling, so across the top I have 32, and 3 times 7 is 21. And then let's write it as a mixed number, so 21 goes into 32 one time, and I get 1 and 11 over 21. Okay, back to addition. Adding is like subtracting. We need a common denominator, so we got 3 1/2 plus 1 5/6. My common denominator is again going to be 6. So this one's going to stay 5/6, multiply by 1 over 1. Now this one, to get to a denominator of 6, I've got to multiply the top and bottom by 3 and get 3/6. I am adding, so I have 8/6. And then I have 4. Well, 8/6 needs to be reduced. You can reduce it and write it as a mixed number at the same time. I'm going to kind of go ahead and do both together. I'm going to divide the 6 into the 8, which goes one time. and with 2 left over, and that will reduce to 1 1/3. So when I put that back in place of the 8/6, I have 4 plus my 1 1/3, which is 5 1/3. Okay, multiplying fractions. I need fractions. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 6, times 3 over 4. And I do have a little canceling here. I can divide 3 into 3 and 3 into 6. And I get 13 times 1, which is 13 over 8, 2 times 4. Let's write that as a mixed number. 1 time. 5 is the remainder over 8, which is my divisor, 1 5/8. Number 8. A movie lasts 206 minutes. How many hours and minutes did it last? Well, we know there's 60 minutes in an hour. So let's see how many 60s are in 206. Well, it'll go 3 times. And when you subtract, you've got 6 and do a little bit of borrowing here, and you'll get 20. So you had 3 hours, and then our time left over is our 26 minutes. Number 9, a mile is 1,760 yards. Jenny ran 440 yards. What fraction of a mile did she run? Well, she ran 440 yards of 1,760 yards. Now that's pretty big numbers in a fraction. Let's go ahead and divide by 10 over 10, and that'll make it a little bit smaller. 44 over 176. 2 will go into both of them. If you recognize 4 will actually go, you can do 2 twice. And 44 divided by 4 is 11. And if you don't know 4 into 176, it'll go 4 times and 4 times again. And we get 11 over 44. Well, it actually will reduce again. Let's divide by 11 over 11, and we get 1/4. So it was a large fraction that would actually divide large numbers in fraction, which actually reduced all the way down to 1/4. Number 10. 5/8 of 200 songs were about love. How many songs were about love, and how many songs were not about love? Well, 5/8 as a fraction is 5 over 8. Of is our times, and then 200, and let's make that a fraction by putting it over 1. Now, you can multiply and then reduce. I would highly recommend canceling, and this one's an easy one if you recognize it. 8 will go into 8 one time, and it actually goes into 225 times. So you've got 5 times 25, which is 125 love songs. Now, if there were 200 songs altogether, if you take away, and you can do it several ways, but this is the easiest, take away the 125 love songs, and then that will leave you, do a little borrowing here, and you'll have 5 from 10 is 5, and 2 from 9 is 70, so you'll have actually 75s that are not love songs.